Have you ever felt like you've wasted years of your life? Like time has slipped through your fingers, leaving you with regrets and missed opportunities? What if I told you there's a way to get those years back? Not through some fancy time machine or magical spell, but through something much more powerful, the universe itself. This isn't about quick fixes or empty promises. It's about tapping into the very fabric of existence to reclaim what you thought was lost forever. Here's the thing. If you don't grasp this idea of universal restoration, you might spend the rest of your life looking back with sadness and regret. You could miss out on the incredible chance to rewrite your story and create the life you've always dreamed of. But if you open your mind to this concept, something amazing happens. Suddenly, those wasted years become the foundation for your greatest achievements. The universe starts working with you, not against you, to bring your deepest desires to life. Let's break this down into simple terms. When we talk about the universe restoring your wasted years, we're not talking about literal time travel. Instead, it's about the universe creating opportunities, connections, and experiences that make up for lost time. It's like the universe is saying, I see you've struggled. Let me help you catch up and even get ahead. Think of it like this. Imagine you spent years in a job you hated, feeling stuck and unfulfilled. The idea of universal restoration means that those years weren't truly wasted. They were preparing you for something bigger. Maybe those years taught you what you don't want, making you appreciate your true calling even more when you find it. Or perhaps they gave you skills you didn't even realize you were developing, skills that will be crucial for your future success. The universe works in fascinating ways. It's not bound by our human concept of time. While we see things linearly, past, present, future, the universe sees the big picture. It can take what looks like a detour or a mistake to us and turn it into a shortcut to our dreams. Let me give you an example everyone can relate to. Think about learning to ride a bike. When you first start, you fall a lot. You might get scrapes and bruises. It feels like you're wasting time, failing over and over. But then suddenly it clicks. You find your balance and you're off. Those falls weren't wasted time. They were necessary steps to learn a skill that gives you freedom and joy. Life works the same way. Those years you think you wasted, they're like those falls when learning to ride a bike. They might have felt pointless or painful at the time, but they were teaching you valuable lessons. The universe takes those experiences and uses them to propel you forward, often in ways you never expected. This idea of restoration isn't about erasing the past, it's about reframing it. It's about understanding that every experience, good or bad, has value. The universe doesn't waste anything. It uses every moment, every choice, every seeming failure as building blocks for your future. When we talk about the universe, we're talking about the interconnected web of everything that exists. It's not just stars and planets. It's the energy that flows through all things, including you. This energy doesn't judge your past as good or bad. It simply works with what is, constantly moving towards balance and growth. So how does this restoration actually happen? It's not magic, but it can feel magical when you start to notice it. It often shows up as unexpected opportunities, chance meetings that lead to big changes, or sudden insights that shift your whole perspective. The key is to be open to these moments, to recognize them when they come. For example, let's say you spent years in a relationship that ultimately didn't work out. At first, you might see those as wasted years, time you can never get back. But then you meet someone new and you realize that your past relationship taught you exactly what you need to make this new one thrive. Or maybe those years gave you the strength and self-knowledge to pursue a dream you'd been putting off. The universe's restoration often works through people and events. That friend who calls out of the blue with a job opportunity, that book you randomly picked up that changed your whole outlook, that setback that forced you to take a different path, leading to something even better. These aren't coincidences. They're the universe at work, turning your past experiences into stepping stones for your future. It's important to understand that this restoration isn't always obvious or immediate. Sometimes it takes years to see how a difficult period in your life led to something beautiful. This is where trust comes in. Trusting that even if you can't see it now, the universe is weaving your experiences into something meaningful. Think of it like planting a garden. When you first put seeds in the ground, nothing seems to happen. You might worry that you're wasting your time, that nothing will grow. But under the surface, those seeds are sprouting roots, gathering strength. Then one day, you see the first green shoots pushing through the soil. Your wasted time waiting and worrying was actually a crucial part of the growth process. In the same way, the years you think you've wasted are like those seeds underground. They might not look like much now, but they're developing into something beautiful. The universe is nurturing those experiences, using them to create opportunities for growth, joy, and fulfillment in your life. This concept of universal restoration isn't about sitting back and waiting for good things to happen. It's about actively partnering with the universe. It's about looking at your past with new eyes, finding the lessons and the strength in even your most difficult moments. When you do this, you open yourself up to the universe's restorative power. Imagine you're putting together a big puzzle. At first, you might get frustrated, feeling like you're wasting time as you try to fit pieces together. But as you keep working, the picture starts to come together. Suddenly, those pieces that didn't seem to fit anywhere become crucial to completing the image. The universe works in a similar way with our lives, taking all our experiences and fitting them into a bigger picture we can't always see. This idea of restoration can be incredibly freeing. It means that no matter what's happened in your past, it's not too late. The universe isn't done with you. In fact, it's just getting started. Those years you thought were wasted, they were preparation. They were the universe setting the stage for something amazing. Think about some of the most inspiring success stories you've heard. Often, they involve people who seem to have wasted years of their lives. Maybe they struggled with addiction, or were stuck in dead-end jobs, or faced setback after setback. But then something shifted. They found their purpose, their passion, their path. And all those wasted years suddenly made sense. They had been gaining the experience, the empathy, the resilience they needed for their ultimate success. The universe's restoration often works through contrast. Sometimes we need to experience what we don't want to fully appreciate and go after what we do want. Those years you spent feeling lost or stuck, they might have been the universe's way of helping you clarify your true desires and values. It's like cleaning out a cluttered room. At first, it seems like a waste of time. You have to pull everything out, making an even bigger mess. But this step is necessary to sort through what you want to keep and what you need to let go. In the same way, those wasted years are often the universe's way of helping you sort through your life, figuring out what truly matters to you. The power of this idea lies in its ability to transform how we see our past, present, and future. When you understand that the universe can restore your wasted years, you stop living in regret. You start looking for the purpose behind your experiences. You become more open to new opportunities, recognizing them as part of your restoration. This doesn't mean ignoring or dismissing the pain of difficult times. It's about finding meaning in those experiences, allowing them to shape you into someone stronger and wiser. The universe's restoration often works through our own personal growth and understanding. Consider how often in life, things that seem negative at the time turned out to be blessings in disguise. The job you didn't get that led you to an even better opportunity. The relationship that ended, making space for self-discovery and eventually a more fulfilling partnership. These are small examples of how the universe works to restore and redirect our paths. The concept of universal restoration also challenges our idea of what success and fulfillment look like. Sometimes what we think are wasted years are actually the universe's way of steering us towards our true path. Maybe you spent years pursuing a career you thought you wanted, only to realize it wasn't right for you. Those years weren't wasted. They were necessary for you to discover your authentic self and true calling. This restoration process often involves a shift in perspective. It's about looking at your life story not as a straight line, but as a rich, complex tapestry. Every thread, every color, even the ones you didn't like at first, contributes to the overall beauty of the picture. The universe's restoration can also work through the ripple effects of our actions. Maybe those years you think you wasted actually had a positive impact on someone else's life in ways you never realized. Perhaps your struggles inspired someone, or your kindness during a difficult time made a lasting impression on another person. Understanding this concept can dramatically change how you approach your daily life. Instead of rushing through each day, anxious about wasting time, you start to see every moment as potentially significant. You become more present, more aware of the lessons and opportunities around you. This doesn't mean becoming passive or fatalistic. The universe's restoration works best when we actively participate. It's about being open to new possibilities, willing to learn from every experience, and brave enough to take action when opportunities present themselves. The idea of universal restoration also brings a sense of hope and excitement about the future. No matter where you are in life, no matter how many years you think you've wasted, the best could still be yet to come. The universe isn't finished with your story. In fact, it might be setting you up for your most incredible chapter yet. Think about how this changes the way you view setbacks or delays. Instead of seeing them as wasted time, you can start to wonder how the universe might be using this experience to set you up for something better. Maybe that project that's taking longer than expected is allowing you to develop skills you'll need for an even bigger opportunity down the road. This concept also encourages us to be kinder to ourselves. Those wasted years often come with a lot of self-blame and regret. But when you understand that the universe can restore and redeem that time, you can let go of that negativity. You can start to appreciate your journey, including the detours and rough patches. The universe's restoration often works in ways we can't predict or control. This is where faith and trust come in. It's about believing that even if you can't see the reason for something now, there's a bigger plan at work. This doesn't mean blindly accepting everything that happens, but rather staying open to the possibility that even difficult experiences can lead to growth and positive change. Consider how this idea might change how you talk about your past. Instead of saying, "I wasted years doing X," you might start saying, "I spent years learning about X, and I'm curious to see how the universe will use that experience in my future." This shift in language can have a powerful effect on your mindset and your actions. The concept of universal restoration also connects to the idea of personal responsibility. While the universe works to restore and redirect, we play an active role in this process. It's about being willing to learn from our experiences, to grow from our challenges, and to take action when opportunities arise. This restoration isn't just about big, dramatic changes. Often it happens in small, subtle ways. Maybe those years you spent at a job you didn't love gave you a specific skill that becomes crucial in pursuing your true passion. Or perhaps the patience you developed during a difficult time becomes your greatest strength in a new relationship. Understanding universal restoration can also change how you view other people's journeys. Instead of judging someone for their wasted years, you start to wonder how those experiences might be shaping them for something great. This can lead to more compassion and understanding in your relationships. The universe's restoration often involves bringing things full circle. Those experiences you thought were taking you away from your dreams might actually be leading you right back to them, but with new wisdom and skills. It's like the universe has been preparing you all along for where you truly need to be. This concept challenges the idea that there's a right timeline for life. Society often tells us we should achieve certain things by certain ages. But the universe doesn't work on that timeline. Your path is unique, and what looks like a delay or a waste of time might actually be essential preparation for your personal journey. The idea of universal restoration also ties into the concept of lifelong learning. Those wasted years were actually years of gathering experiences, insights, and understanding that you'll draw on for the rest of your life. Every experience, good or bad, becomes a teacher. This restoration process often involves letting go of our preconceived notions about how our lives should look. It's about being open to unexpected paths and opportunities. Sometimes the universe's way of restoring our wasted years looks nothing like what we imagined. It might be even better. Understanding this concept can also help you be more patient with your own growth process. Just as a farmer doesn't dig up seeds to check if they're growing, we need to trust the process of our own development. Those years that seem unproductive might be the very ones where the most important growth is happening beneath the surface. The universe's restoration often works through connections and relationships. Those wasted years might have put you in touch with people who will play crucial roles in your future. Every person you've met, every conversation you've had, could be part of a larger tapestry the universe is weaving. This idea of restoration can be particularly powerful when dealing with regret. Instead of wishing you could change the past, you start to look for ways the universe might use those experiences to create something beautiful in your present and future. It's about turning "I wish I hadn't" into "I wonder how this will be used for good." The concept of universal restoration also relates to the idea of timing. Often, what we perceive as wasted years are actually the universe's way of aligning things perfectly. Maybe you weren't ready for certain opportunities earlier, and those seeming delays were actually perfect timing. This restoration process often involves a kind of alchemy, where the universe takes the base metals of our difficult experiences and transmutes them into gold. Those years of struggle become the foundation for empathy, resilience, and wisdom that enrich every aspect of your life. Understanding this concept can also help you be more present and appreciative of your current experiences. Instead of always looking ahead or dwelling on the past, you start to recognize that every moment, even the seemingly mundane ones, could be part of the universe's restoration plan. The idea of universal restoration doesn't mean that every negative experience will have an obvious positive outcome. Sometimes the restoration comes in the form of personal growth, increased empathy, or a shift in perspective that enriches your life in subtle but profound ways. This concept also encourages us to look at our lives holistically. Instead of compartmentalizing our experiences into useful and wasted, we start to see how every part of our journey contributes to who we are and where we're going. It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of all our experiences. The universe's restoration often works through our passions and talents. Those years you spent exploring different interests weren't wasted. They were helping you discover and develop your unique gifts. Sometimes it's the combination of seemingly unrelated experiences that leads to your most significant contributions. Understanding this idea can also help you be more compassionate with yourself during difficult times. Instead of beating yourself up for not making progress or feeling stuck, you can trust that these experiences are part of a larger process of growth and restoration. This concept of restoration also relates to the idea of purpose. Often those wasted years were actually guiding you towards your true calling. The universe might use your struggles and detours to align you with your deeper purpose in ways you couldn't have planned or imagined. The universe's restoration process often involves breaking down old patterns and beliefs to make way for new growth. Those years that felt wasted might have been necessary to dismantle limiting beliefs or outdated ways of thinking, preparing you for a new level of understanding and success. This idea of restoration can also change how you approach goal setting and planning. Instead of rigidly sticking to one path, you become more flexible, understanding that the universe might have plans that are better than anything you could have imagined. You learn to balance taking action with being open to unexpected opportunities. The concept of universal restoration also ties into the idea of resilience. Those wasted years often build a kind of inner strength that becomes invaluable later in life. The challenges you faced and overcame become the foundation for handling future obstacles with grace and wisdom. Understanding this process can also help you find meaning in mundane or difficult experiences. Instead of wishing time away, you start to look for the lessons and growth opportunities in every situation, trusting that it's all part of your journey of restoration and development. The universe's restoration often works through cycles. What looks like a setback or a waste of time might actually be part of a larger cycle of growth and renewal. Just as nature has seasons, our lives have periods of apparent dormancy that are actually crucial for our long-term flourishing. This concept of restoration also encourages us to be more curious about our lives. Instead of making assumptions about what's good or bad, useful or wasteful, we approach each experience with openness, wondering how it might fit into the larger picture of our lives. The idea of universal restoration can also change how you view success and failure. Instead of seeing them as final outcomes, you start to see them as part of an ongoing process of growth and learning. Every failure becomes a stepping stone to future success, guided by the universe's restorative power. The first crucial step in allowing the universe to restore your wasted years is embracing your past. This might sound counterintuitive. After all, aren't we trying to move beyond those wasted years? But here's the thing. True restoration can only happen when we stop fighting against our past experiences and start accepting them as part of our journey. Think about it like this. Imagine you're trying to build a house, but you keep tearing down the foundation because you don't like how it looks. You'd never make any progress, right? In the same way, when we reject our past experiences, we're constantly tearing down the foundation of our lives. We can't move forward because we're stuck in a cycle of regret and resentment. Embracing your past doesn't mean you have to like everything that happened. It doesn't mean pretending that difficult or painful experiences were fun. Instead, it's about acknowledging that these experiences happened and recognizing that they've played a role in shaping who you are today. This acceptance is powerful because it frees up your energy. When you're constantly fighting against your past, you're using up a lot of mental and emotional energy. But when you accept it, you can redirect that energy towards creating the future you want. It's like finally putting down a heavy backpack you've been carrying for years. Suddenly, you can move so much more freely. Embracing your past also allows you to see the lessons and growth that came from those experiences. Maybe those years you spent in a job you didn't love taught you valuable skills about perseverance or working with different types of people. Perhaps a relationship that didn't work out helped you understand what you really need in a partner. When you embrace these experiences, you can start to see how they've contributed to your wisdom and strength. This key to restoration is about changing your perspective. Instead of seeing your past as a series of mistakes or wasted time, you start to see it as a rich tapestry of experiences that have all contributed to who you are. It's about recognizing that even the difficult times have value. Embracing your past also means letting go of the what-ifs and if-onlys. These thoughts keep us stuck in the past, preventing us from fully engaging with the present moment. When you embrace your past, you're saying, "This is what happened, and I'm okay with that." This doesn't mean you can't learn from past experiences or make different choices in the future. It just means you're not letting the past hold you back anymore. This process of embracing your past often involves forgiveness, both of yourself and others. Maybe you need to forgive yourself for choices you made that you now regret. Or perhaps you need to forgive others who hurt you or let you down. This forgiveness isn't about saying what happened was okay. It's about freeing yourself from the burden of carrying around anger and resentment. Embracing your past also allows you to see the continuity of your life story. Those years you thought were wasted weren't separate from the rest of your life. They were an integral part of your journey. When you embrace this, you can start to see how all your experiences are connected, leading you to where you are now and where you're going next. This key to restoration is also about honoring your resilience. When you look back at your past and embrace it, you're acknowledging all the challenges you've overcome, all the times you've picked yourself up and kept going. This can be a powerful source of strength as you move forward. Embracing your past doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, and it's okay if it takes time. Be patient with yourself as you work through this. Some days you might feel like you fully accepted your past, and other days old regrets might creep in. That's normal. The important thing is to keep working on it, gently redirecting your thoughts when you find yourself slipping into rejection of your past experiences. As you practice embracing your past, you might find it helpful to write about your experiences. This can help you process your feelings and see your journey from a new perspective. You might be surprised to discover positive aspects of your past that you hadn't noticed before. Remember, embracing your past is not about dwelling on it. It's about making peace with it so that you can fully engage with your present and future. It's about creating a solid foundation from which the universe can work its restorative magic in your life. The second crucial step in allowing the universe to restore your wasted years is aligning yourself with the present moment. This might sound simple, but it's actually a powerful practice that can dramatically shift your life. When we're caught up in regret over the past or anxiety about the future, we miss out on the richness of the present moment. And here's the thing, the present moment is where all the magic happens. It's where the universe does its work of restoration. Aligning with the present means fully engaging with what's happening right now. It's about bringing your attention to this moment rather than letting your mind wander to the past or future. When you do this, you open yourself up to the opportunities and insights that are available to you right now. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're not aligned with the present, it's like you're between stations. There's a lot of static and you can't hear the music clearly. But when you align with the present, suddenly everything comes into focus. You can hear the music of your life clearly and respond to it. This alignment with the present is crucial because it allows you to notice the ways the universe is working to restore your life. Remember, this restoration often happens in small, subtle ways. If you're not present, you might miss these signs and opportunities. For example, let's say you're at a coffee shop, but instead of being present, you're lost in thoughts about your past, wasted years. You might miss overhearing a conversation that could give you a great idea for your career. Or you might not notice the person next to you who could become a great friend or valuable connection. By aligning with the present, you become aware of these potential moments of restoration. Aligning with the present also helps you make better decisions. When you're fully engaged with what's happening now, you can respond more effectively to the situations in your life. You're not reacting based on past regrets or future fears, but on what's actually happening in this moment. This key to restoration involves practicing mindfulness. This doesn't mean you have to sit in meditation for hours, although that can be helpful. It's about bringing a quality of awareness to your everyday activities. When you're eating, really taste your food. When you're walking, feel the ground beneath your feet. When you're talking to someone, really listen to what they're saying. Aligning with the present also means accepting things as they are right now. This doesn't mean you can't work towards change, but it means you're not resisting the current reality. When we resist what is, we create tension and stress that can block the universe's restorative flow. Acceptance opens us up to new possibilities. This practice of alignment can be especially powerful when you're feeling stuck or like you're wasting time. Instead of getting caught up in those thoughts, bring your attention to what's happening right now. What can you learn from this moment? How can you fully engage with what you're doing, even if it's not what you'd ideally be doing? Aligning with the present also helps you tap into your intuition. When we're caught up in thoughts about the past or future, it's hard to hear that quiet inner voice. But when we're present, we can more easily tune into our inner wisdom, which often guides us towards restoration and growth. Remember, the universe's restoration doesn't always look like we expect it to. By aligning with the present, we become open to restoration in whatever form it takes. Maybe it's a chance encounter, a sudden insight, or an opportunity we wouldn't have noticed if we weren't fully present. This key to restoration also involves practicing gratitude for the present moment. When we're focused on our wasted years, we often overlook the good things in our lives right now. By cultivating gratitude for what is, we shift our energy and open ourselves up to more positive experiences. Aligning with the present doesn't mean you never think about the past or future. It's about finding a balance. You can learn from the past and plan for the future, but your primary focus is on engaging fully with the present moment. As you practice this alignment, you might find it helpful to use reminders throughout your day. You could set alarms on your phone to remind you to check in with the present moment, or you might use everyday cues like stopping at a red light or opening a door as reminders to bring your attention to the here and now. Remember, aligning with the present is a skill that gets stronger with practice. Don't get discouraged if you find your mind wandering a lot at first. Gently bring your attention back to the present moment whenever you notice you've drifted away. Over time, this will become more natural. By aligning with the present, you create the conditions for the universe to work its restorative magic in your life. You become more aware, more open, and more responsive to the opportunities for growth and positive change that are always around you. The third crucial step in allowing the universe to restore your wasted years is cultivating faith in the future. This isn't about blind optimism or ignoring reality. It's about developing a deep trust in the process of life and in your own ability to grow and evolve. When we've experienced what we perceive as wasted years, it's easy to become cynical or fearful about the future. We might think, what's the point of trying? I'll probably just waste more time. But this attitude can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, blocking us from the very restoration we're seeking. Cultivating faith in the future means choosing to believe that good things are possible, even if you can't see how right now. It's about trusting that the universe has a plan for your life that's bigger and more beautiful than anything you could have imagined. Think of it like planting a seed. When you put a seed in the ground, you can't see what's happening beneath the surface. For a while, it might look like nothing is happening at all. But if you keep watering and tending to that seed, eventually it will sprout and grow into a beautiful plant. Cultivating faith in the future is like tending to that seed, even when you can't see results yet. This faith is crucial because it affects your actions in the present. When you believe good things are possible for you, you're more likely to take positive actions that align with that belief. You're more likely to notice and seize opportunities when they appear. You're more resilient in the face of setbacks because you trust that they're just temporary obstacles on your path to something great. Cultivating faith in the future also involves reframing your idea of what's possible for you. Often, our beliefs about what we can achieve are limited by our past experiences or by what others have told us. But the universe's capacity for restoration is limitless. By expanding your vision of what's possible, you open yourself up to greater opportunities for restoration and growth. This key to restoration is about shifting your focus from what you've lost to what you can gain. Instead of dwelling on the years you think you've wasted, start imagining the amazing experiences and achievements that could be waiting for you in the future. This shift in focus can be incredibly energizing and motivating. Cultivating faith in the future doesn't mean ignoring problems or challenges. It's about believing that you have the capacity to overcome these challenges and that they might even lead to unexpected positive outcomes. It's about trusting that even difficulties can be part of the restoration process. This faith also involves letting go of the need to control every aspect of your future. Often, our anxiety about wasted time leads us to try to micromanage our lives. But true restoration often comes in unexpected ways. By cultivating faith, you become more open to the surprising and wonderful ways the universe might work in your life. Remember, faith is a practice. It's not about never having doubts, but about choosing to focus on possibility rather than limitation. When doubts or fears come up, acknowledge them, but then gently redirect your thoughts to what you want to create in your life. Cultivating faith in the future also involves surrounding yourself with positive influences. This might mean seeking out inspiring stories of people who have overcome setbacks and achieved great things. It might mean spending time with people who believe in you and support your growth. This key to restoration is also about taking inspired action. Faith isn't about passively waiting for good things to happen. It's about trusting enough to take steps towards your dreams, even when you can't see the whole path. Each action you take from a place of faith helps to build your trust in the restoration process. Cultivating faith in the future can be especially powerful when combined with visualization. Spend time each day imagining your restored life in vivid detail. How does it feel? What are you doing? By creating a clear vision of what you want, you give the universe a blueprint to work with. Remember, the future is not set in stone. Your past does not determine your future unless you let it. By cultivating faith in the future, you open yourself up to infinite possibilities for restoration and growth. You become an active participant in co-creating your life with the universe. This faith is also about trusting in your own resilience and capacity for growth. You've survived every challenge you've faced so far. You've learned and grown from your experiences, even the difficult ones. Cultivating faith in the future means trusting that you'll continue to grow and evolve no matter what comes your way. As you practice cultivating faith in the future, you might find it helpful to keep a journal of positive possibilities. Write down your dreams, your ideas, the good things you believe could happen. This can help to reinforce your faith and keep you focused on the potential for restoration in your life. Remember, the universe's restoration often works in ways we can't predict or control. By cultivating faith in the future, you create the openness and positive energy that allows this restoration to unfold in beautiful and unexpected ways. As we journey through the process of allowing the universe to restore our wasted years, it's important to be aware of some common pitfalls that can hinder our progress. By recognizing and avoiding these mistakes, we can smooth our path to restoration and growth. The first common mistake is dwelling excessively on the past. While it's important to acknowledge and learn from our past experiences, getting stuck in a cycle of regret and what-ifs can prevent us from moving forward. Remember, the power of restoration lies in the present moment and the future, not in reliving past events we can't change. When you find yourself dwelling on the past, gently redirect your thoughts to the present. Ask yourself, what can I do right now to move towards the future I want? This shifts your focus from what you can't change to what you can influence. Another mistake is having unrealistic expectations about the speed of restoration. We live in a world of instant gratification, and it's easy to fall into the trap of expecting immediate results. But true, lasting restoration often takes time. It's a process, not an event. Think of it like healing from a physical injury. While you might see some improvement quickly, full healing takes time and consistent effort. The same is true for the restoration of our wasted years. Be patient with yourself and trust in the process. A third common mistake is trying to control every aspect of the restoration process. When we feel like we've wasted time, it's natural to want to micromanage our future to make up for it. But this can actually block the universe's restorative power. Remember, some of the most beautiful restorations come in unexpected ways. By loosening your grip on control and remaining open to possibilities, you allow space for miracles to occur. The fourth mistake is comparing your journey to others. In the age of social media, it's easy to fall into the comparison trap. We see highlight reels of other people's lives and think, why isn't my restoration happening like that? But here's the truth. Everyone's journey is unique. Your restoration will look different from anyone else's because it's tailored specifically for you. Trust in your own path and celebrate your own progress, no matter how small it might seem. Another common mistake is neglecting self-care during the restoration process. When we're focused on making up for lost time, we might push ourselves too hard, neglecting our physical, emotional, and spiritual needs. But self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. It gives you the energy and resilience you need to fully engage in the restoration process. Make sure you're getting enough rest, eating well, moving your body, and doing things that bring you joy. The sixth mistake is being too rigid in your idea of what restoration should look like. Sometimes we have a fixed idea of how our lives should unfold, and we resist anything that doesn't fit that vision. But the universe often has plans that are bigger and more beautiful than anything we could have imagined. Be open to different forms of restoration. Sometimes what looks like a detour might actually be a shortcut to something amazing. Now that we've explored the keys to restoration and common mistakes to avoid, let's dive into a practical exercise that can help you apply these concepts to your own life. This exercise is called Mapping Your Restoration Journey, and it's designed to help you visualize your path forward while honoring your past experiences. To start, you'll need a large piece of paper and some colored pens or markers. If you prefer, you can also do this exercise digitally using a drawing or mind mapping tool. Begin by drawing a winding path across your paper. This represents your life journey. At the start of the path, write your birth date. At various points along the path, mark significant events in your life, including those years you felt were wasted. Now here's where the restoration perspective comes in. For each of these events, especially the difficult ones, write down a lesson learned or a strength gained. This helps you see how even challenging times contributed to your growth. Next, mark where you are now on the path. From this point, the path continues forward into the future. This is where you'll start mapping your restoration journey. Along this future path, write down goals or experiences you'd like to have. These could be related to your career, relationships, personal growth, or any other aspect of your life. Don't censor yourself. Let your imagination flow. Now connect these future goals back to your past experiences. Draw lines linking future goals to past events that might contribute to achieving them. For example, maybe a difficult job in the past taught you resilience that will help you achieve a future career goal. This visual representation helps you see how your past, present, and future are all connected. It illustrates how the universe can use all of your experiences, even the ones you thought were wasted, in the process of restoration. As you work on your map, pay attention to any insights or aha moments that come up. These could be signs of the universe guiding your restoration process. Remember, this map isn't set in stone. It's a living document that you can update and adjust as you continue on your journey. The act of creating it helps you engage with your past, align with your present, and cultivate faith in your future. The key elements of allowing the universe to restore your wasted years. Take your time with this exercise. You might want to work on it over several days, allowing time for reflection between sessions. As you map out your restoration journey, you're actively participating in co-creating your future with the universe. To truly understand the power of universal restoration, it can be helpful to look at real-life examples of people who have experienced this transformative process. These stories serve as beacons of hope, showing us what's possible when we align ourselves with the universe's restorative power. Let's start with the story of Sarah, a woman in her mid-40s who felt she had wasted years in an unfulfilling career. Sarah had always dreamed of being a writer, but fear of financial instability led her to pursue a safe corporate job instead. For 20 years, she worked in a field she didn't love, feeling increasingly frustrated and regretful. But then, Sarah decided to embrace the principles of universal restoration. She started by accepting her past, recognizing that her corporate experience had taught her valuable skills in discipline, communication, and perseverance. She aligned herself with the present by starting to write in her free time, fully engaging with the joy of creation without pressure for success. As she cultivated faith in her future as a writer, opportunities began to appear. A colleague introduced her to a publisher looking for business books. Sarah's unique combination of corporate knowledge and writing skills made her the perfect fit. Within 2 years, she had published her first book and was able to transition to full-time writing. What Sarah once saw as wasted years became the very foundation of her success. The universe had used her corporate experience to create a unique path to her dream career. Another powerful story is that of Michael, a man who spent his 20s struggling with addiction. He felt he had thrown away the best years of his life and damaged relationships beyond repair. But when Michael embraced the concept of universal restoration, everything changed. Michael started by fully accepting his past, recognizing that his struggles had given him deep empathy for others facing similar challenges. He aligned with the present by focusing on his recovery one day at a time, fully engaging with each step of the process. As he cultivated faith in his future, Michael felt called to help others. He trained as a counselor, using his personal experience to connect with and support other people struggling with addiction. The years he thought he had wasted became his greatest asset in his new career. Moreover, as Michael focused on his own growth and on helping others, many of his damaged relationships began to heal. The universe worked in ways he could never have predicted, restoring not just his career but his whole life. These stories show us that universal restoration often works in unexpected ways. What we see as wasted time can become the very thing that propels us toward our dreams and purpose. Consider the story of Elena, a woman who spent years in an unhappy marriage before finally finding the courage to leave. At first, she saw these years as wasted, filled with pain and lost opportunities. But as Elena embraced the principles of restoration, she began to see things differently. She realized that her experiences had given her incredible strength and resilience. As she aligned with her present and cultivated faith in her future, Elena felt drawn to help other women in similar situations. She started a support group that grew into a nonprofit organization, helping hundreds of women find their strength and rebuild their lives. The years Elena once saw as wasted became the foundation for her life's most meaningful work. The universe had used her painful experiences to prepare her for a purpose she could never have imagined. These stories remind us that no experience is truly wasted. The universe has an incredible capacity to weave all of our experiences, the good, the bad, and the seemingly meaningless, into a tapestry of restoration and purpose. Whether it's turning corporate experience into a unique writing career, transforming addiction into a calling to help others, or using painful relationship experiences to support and empower others, the universe finds ways to restore and redeem our wasted years. As you reflect on these stories, consider how the universe might be working to restore your own life. What experiences from your past, even ones you've seen as wasted time, might be preparing you for something beautiful in your future? Remember, your story of restoration is still being written. By embracing your past, aligning with your present, and cultivating faith in your future, you open yourself to the incredible restorative power of the universe. As we come to the end of our exploration of how the universe can restore our wasted years, it's important to remember that this journey is deeply personal and unique for each individual. The process of restoration isn't about erasing the past or pretending difficult experiences never happened. Instead, it's about reframing our perspective, finding meaning in our experiences, and allowing the universe to use every part of our journey for our growth and fulfillment. Remember, the concept of wasted years is often a matter of perspective. What may seem like wasted time in the moment can often turn out to be crucial preparation for future opportunities and growth. The universe has a way of weaving together the threads of our experiences in ways we could never have predicted. By embracing your past, you free yourself from the burden of regret and open yourself to the lessons and strengths you've gained from every experience. In aligning with the present, you become more aware of the opportunities for growth and restoration that surround you every day. and by cultivating faith in your future, you create the positive energy and openness that allows the universe's restorative power to work in your life. As you move forward on your restoration journey, be patient with yourself. Remember that restoration is often a gradual process, not an overnight transformation. Celebrate small victories and moments of insight along the way. Trust that even when you can't see the full picture, the universe is working to restore and renew your life. Don't be afraid to lean into the unknown. Sometimes, the most beautiful restorations come from embracing new paths and possibilities we never would have considered before. Be open to surprises and synchronicities. They're often signs of the universe's restoration at work. Remember the common mistakes we discussed and strive to avoid them. Don't dwell excessively on the past. Have unrealistic expectations. Try to control everything. Compare your journey to others. Neglect self-care, or be too rigid in your idea of what restoration should look like. Instead, focus on your own unique path of growth and renewal. Continue to engage with practices that support your restoration journey. Whether it's the mapping exercise we explored, journaling, meditation, or any other practice that helps you connect with yourself and the universe, make these a regular part of your life. Above all, hold on to hope. No matter what has happened in your past, no matter how much time you feel you've wasted, restoration is always possible. The universe's capacity for renewal and transformation is limitless. Your story isn't over. In fact, the most beautiful chapters may be yet to come. As you move forward, carry with you the knowledge that you are constantly co-creating with the universe. Every choice you make, every perspective you adopt, every moment of growth is part of this co-creation. Trust in this process and in your own capacity for renewal and growth. Remember, the universe will restore all your wasted years, not by changing the past, but by using it as the foundation for a beautiful and fulfilling future. Embrace this journey of restoration with an open heart and mind, and watch as the universe works its magic in your life. Your restoration journey is just beginning. Trust the process, embrace the journey, and open yourself to the incredible possibilities that lie ahead. The universe is ready to restore and renew your life in ways more beautiful than you can imagine. Are you ready to receive it?